Psychologists have conducted empirical investigations to determine what factors predict the longevity of a relationship. One experiment that has been conducted multiple times involves asking each partner in a marriage to rate the number of encounters they have with their partner each day. Although this is a subjective measure, it provides valuable insights. For example, one partner might say, "I had 8 interactions with my wife today." The researchers then ask the partners to rate the interactions as positive or negative. By calculating the ratio of positive to negative interactions, researchers have found that a ratio below 5 positive to 1 negative indicates a deteriorating relationship that is generally doomed. Our internal wiring leads us to give more weight to negative interactions than positive ones, even if they are of equal magnitude. This is because negative experiences can have a more significant impact on us than positive ones. For instance, people are more willing to work harder to avoid losing $5 than they are to gain $5. This tendency towards negativity is rooted in the idea that there is a limit to how happy one can be, and it is safer to err on the side of caution when it comes to negative emotions. Interestingly, relationships can also deteriorate if the positive interactions exceed 11 to 1 negative. This suggests that a healthy relationship requires a balance of positive emotions and reflections from one's partner, rather than an excessive amount. It is crucial to avoid having a naive, dependent partner who is afraid to stand up for themselves. As a partner, it can be tempting to test their boundaries occasionally, and if they allow themselves to be taken advantage of, the relationship will suffer. It is important to assess reciprocity in relationships and strive for equal give and take. While in certain relationships, one partner may have more resources to give than the other, achieving a sense of balance is key. Even in parent-child relationships, it is essential to enforce reciprocity to maintain a healthy dynamic. Children do provide goods in the relationship, and it is important to acknowledge and reciprocate their efforts. In situations where enforcing reciprocity is impossible, there are still strategies to improve the relationship. One highly effective strategy is to observe the people around you and identify behaviors that you would like to see repeated. When someone does something positive or desirable, make sure to provide specific and positive feedback. This simple practice can greatly improve your relationships and overall quality of life. During my time teaching a seminar on writing, I came across an interesting observation. I had a group of 4th-year university students in an honors program who, in theory, should have already mastered the art of writing. However, when it came to their essays, I was disappointed to find that many were lacking creativity and originality. Their work was formulaic and lacked any personal touch. It seemed as though they had simply regurgitated the psychobabble they had learned, particularly those in the education faculties. Instead of reluctantly grading these essays, I decided to conduct an experiment. I asked the students to rewrite their 4-page essays to make them 6 pages long, and then again to make them 8 pages long. Before embarking on this exercise, I did have them hand in their initial essays for a quick assessment. To my dismay, these essays were uninspiring and devoid of any true depth. However, there was a common thread that caught my attention. Hidden within the mundane pages, usually around page 3, there would often be 1 or 2 sentences that demonstrated genuine thought. These sentences were clear, concise, and had an element of captivation. It was as though the writer had momentarily emerged from the sea of mediocrity and questioned something important. Recognizing these moments of brilliance, I made it a point to highlight them and commend the students for hitting the mark. Surprisingly, their subsequent essays improved significantly. The second round would consist of at least 2/3 of the quality found in those standout sentences. It was incredibly rewarding to witness their growth and the realization that they had produced something worth celebrating. In order to develop this particular skill, let's explore the opposite approach one can take. Picture a man who has managed to attract a partner in a relationship and believes that he has surpassed expectations in terms of his mate's attractiveness. This woman is not only more visually appealing, but also exudes an air of desirability that surpasses what he believes he deserves. Naturally, this realization can create a sense of unease within him as it highlights his own perceived inadequacies. Consequently, it is not uncommon for someone in this situation to experience bouts of jealousy. To effectively manage this predicament, the man can adopt a particular strategy. He waits for his wife to dress alluringly and make an effort to showcase her beauty. Instead of acknowledging her appearance and giving her the attention she seeks, he feigns disinterest by occupying himself with trivial matters. Alternatively, he directly criticizes her efforts, undermining any satisfaction she may have derived from her appearance. By repeating this pattern of behavior multiple times, perhaps 50 instances, it becomes highly likely that she will no longer feel inclined to display her attractiveness, either to others or even to him. In this way, the man effectively obtains what he believes he deserves and ensures that his partner hides her beauty indefinitely. Now, this particular technique I'm going to share is not manipulative, although it can be used in that way. However, for it to be effective, it requires a certain level of wisdom. So let's consider what kind of atmosphere you want in your relationships. Perhaps you desire peace, tranquility, happiness, and humor. These are not bad ideals to strive for. It's crucial to internalize these desires and ask yourself if this is truly what you want. Alternatively, do you want to constantly play the role of a martyr? It is important to make a conscious choice, because it's unlikely that simply aiming high will guarantee the manifestation of your desired atmosphere. You need to be aware of the alternative, the option to embrace peace, happiness, and humor. Once you have oriented yourself in this direction, you need to be attentive and discern when these positive qualities manifest in the people around you. When you notice these moments, it is crucial to acknowledge them in detail. For example, you can have a discussion over dinner with your child and notice their clever and timely remark that is both thought-provoking and pleasant. You can express your appreciation for their wit, commending them for their remarkable contribution. When your child realizes that you noticed and praised their remark, they will be motivated to be even funnier the next day, albeit in a balanced manner. In order to improve your relationships, it is crucial to have a desire to improve yourself. Jealousy should not be present when recognizing and appreciating the goodness in others. Moreover, being attentive to others and developing the skill of active listening is paramount to being valued and appreciated by those around you. The technique of summarizing conversations to the other person's satisfaction is an incredibly effective approach. When you first attempt this technique, you may feel a bit awkward and even manipulated due to your lack of expertise. However, with practice, you can become an expert and engage in remarkable conversations with everyone you encounter. Through my clinical practice, I have encountered individuals who were intellectually impaired and suffering from various pathologies. Yet when I genuinely listened to them, they proved to be just as fascinating as anyone else. Listening is a gateway to learning, as there is nothing people won't share if you give them a chance. It is astonishing how quickly individuals will open up, revealing things about themselves that they were not even aware of. Often, these hidden aspects have been suppressed for years. Witnessing this transformation is incredibly rewarding and almost like playing a game, where you wait for that moment when someone does something praiseworthy. Recognizing and acknowledging even the slightest indication of goodness in someone can have profound effects. It not only restores their own faith in their intrinsic goodness, but also inspires them to continue manifesting positive traits despite their cynicism and boredom. Dismissing the notion of toxic masculinity, as it propagates a negative assumption about men, is crucial.